What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the JTW Sports Show. It's Jimmy, Todd, and Will. We're back, and we're about to talk about Super Bowl in 2022. It is the Rams versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Who would have ever thought? TJ, Will, talk to me, man. How you guys feeling today?
I'm great. I'm feeling good. I'm fired up for the Super Bowl. This is, one of the best times of the year. Obviously, we all know that.
I mean, you could also view it as one of the worst times. It's the last football game we're getting until August.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, it is. There's some other leagues out there. We
got some arena football and all that that starts up here.
Shout out my boy RJ. He's playing center.
Exactly. Yeah, RJ. If you're watching this, thanks. There's also some other overseas leagues that are starting, and maybe who knows?
Listen, wait for it. 2026, baby. London's going to host the Super Bowl.
All I'm saying is, just like Tia just said, so much just like of American football is being thrown into other countries, and like we just got a thing saying that they're going to try to have some games in Germany next year, like Was it the home or like the opener of the season would be in
It's
Germany?
the first regular season game.
First regular season in Germany, and then the Super Bowl was it in 26? It's going to be in London, maybe. Like that's oh my god, it's crazy. I think it's I don't know. What's y'all's opinions on that? We can talk about that before you start into the Super Bowl, but I think it's American football. And
For a reason, yeah.
America.
My whole thing is there's no franchises over there, so why take it over there? If they had franchises over there, then take it over there. That's my whole thing.
Okay, but I mean, you could almost see this as a way of them becoming, instead of just the National Football League, the Worldwide Football League. Eventually, I mean, let's be honest, a bunch of other countries play. I mean, they do play American football.
It doesn't legit. What's the word? Logistically work that way. You can't have a team overseas.
Yeah, but maybe he's talking about different leagues.
Like I'm saying, them testing what's attendance going to be like. What's attendance going to be like? Because if they can fill the stands with that, then I could see them trying to go back to the same idea that, Brad Johnson, who was on the show at one point when he was over there, NFL Europe. I could see them trying to bring that back for the guys that couldn't make it necessarily in the NFL, but could go play in Europe, kind of like the CFL, the Canadian League.
Yeah,
I could see them revamping the European League, depending on ticket sales, depending on if they can sell out those stadiums, and them making a push for that to where eventually you could have to where it's all right. The Jets are going to fly over and play Munich's team. Munich's going to fly back over here and play them as like a preseason game. I could see that.
I can't see that happening just because of like the size of travel is insane. But one thing that's an interesting thought is, it's Olympic season right now. And then
eventually it could be an Olympic sport.
In America, a football Olympics. And I think that'd be kind of cool. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think I just don't see a world where that's possible. But who knows? This world is kind of crazy. But again, with the world being crazy, put all the odds against the favor of the Cincinnati Bengals, and they overcame some odds and they made it to the Super Bowl. I think that's crazy. I think a lot of people thought the Rams were going to make it at the beginning of the season because of the acquisitions they made in the offseason.
A lot of people, as in me.
As in Will. Yeah, Will did predict they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. But yeah, nobody thought they were going to play the Rams. Or, the Bengals. And this Bengals team's been fun, dude. It's been so much fun. Obviously, they beat the number 1 seed in the Titans in the playoffs, and then they beat the Chiefs. They've been firing on all cylinders, and they have a lot of momentum. And I think the whole world is kind of behind, Joe Burrow and this Cincinnati team. So what do you guys think about that?
I'm behind Joe Burrow, but not in this game because I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season. I said, them getting Matt Stafford is they will win a Super Bowl with the roster they have. And throughout the season, they've just added to that roster. I'm interested to see. I haven't heard anything about I want to say it was Tyler Higbee. I think he got a little banged up in the game, in the NFC Championship game, but I haven't heard anything about him, so I'm assuming that he's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And I know that. Oh, actually, here it is. Key injuries. He didn't practice, but he's expected to. He's not ruled out.
It would have been in the headlines if he was.
Yeah. They said he's, it's kind of like a game time decision. CJ Uzama for the Bengals, they're tied in. He's got a sprained MCL, but he said he's going to play. There's videos of him ripping off his brace and like firing up the crowd. But I got the Rams in this. I think the Bengals are one of those teams where they made it a year or two too early, and I don't think they're ready for it. And I could be wrong. It wouldn't surprise me if they won just because they're on a roll, and Joe Burrow is like, he's one of those quarterbacks that shows up in big games. But I just think the Rams have too much of an overall team, especially on the defensive side, for a terrible, probably according to sack numbers, the worst O-line in the NFL.
Yeah, we all know they're not actually the worst because
the Panthers and the Falcons.
That's still a team.
Yeah.
But yeah, they let up 9 sacks in a game.
And the Chiefs had 8, didn't they, TJ?
7 or 8, something like that.
Which is ridiculous. And I think, if you're the Rams, you have 2 of the most dominant pass rushers and just rushers in the league from the past decade, and Aaron Donald and Von Miller. I think if you don't use that to your advantage, whether you play them on the same side or play them opposite of each other, and just, you can't force really much double teams, or at least 2 double teams with that, they will find a way to get to Joe Burrow more than once. I'm predicting for both of those players to have 2+ sacks each. Yeah, I know. Well, you also didn't think they'd give up 9 sacks in one game.
That's true.
So I think that's going to happen. I'm excited to see the matchups that they use. I don't know if they're going to play man and put Jalen Ramsey on.
He said he wanted to.
He said he wanted to, but
I don't think they will, because I don't think they will switch up. They're going to go with what they've been going with, and
it's been working.
Yeah,
and like also, I mean, you still have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd to guard, and those are 2 really good receivers.
Yeah.
And I think I've said this before. I think if the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win, it's going to have to be through T. Higgins. I think he will have an exploding, an absolutely crazy game, kind of like a Gabriel Davis type game against the Chiefs. And Gabriel Davis had 200 yards, 4 touchdowns on I think 8 receptions. Now, if T. Higgins can have over 100 yards and 1+ touchdowns, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals win.
Okay. What do you think, T?
I'm split. I've been split. As a Georgia boy, you want to see Matt Stafford have the success. We've seen him for 13 years get rocked and get back up and still play for a terrible Detroit Lions team. And now he's there. He made it to something that no one ever thought his career could go. And it could redefine Hall of Fame status for him if he ends up winning this.
Will it? Or will it say, oh, he joined a team that was already really good and it wasn't really all him?
It's a team sport. It doesn't matter. I think.
Hey, I'm just saying.
You could make the same argument then for Brady, that a couple of his Super Bowls were because of the players around him, not necessarily just him.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Think about it though. Jared Goff also had like a really similar roster,
and they sucked.
They did make it to the Super Bowl that one year.
To the Super Bowl. But also that team offensively was nowhere near as good as this team offensively.
Exactly. The thing is I am behind Joe Burrow. I think if anybody can get sacked that many times and win a game, it's going to be Joe Burrow. He won comeback player of the year last night, deservingly. I think that was across the board deservingly. The only thing is I think, because we've seen it in other sports, you get a team like the Rams that stack every aspect from defense to offense to where it's the best of the best. It's the super team. Then they get to the finals and they choke. And I could see this Rams team doing that. I could see them getting to the Super Bowl and then playing one of the worst performances that they have. Because for a bunch of those guys, yes, they've been super good all these years, but they've never been to that stage. And neither is anybody on the Bengals team, but I'm saying, like, if anybody can do it, it's going to be Joe Burrow. There's no quarterback ever that has won a national championship, a Heisman, and a Super Bowl. And Joe Burrow is doing it within his first 2 years in the NFL, like close to doing it in his first 2 years in the NFL. So if he doesn't win this one, I could see them going again and winning another one sometime soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think Joe Burrow has the ability and the talent to do that. But I'm split. I personally don't know who I want to win. I'm riding with the Bengals. I'd love to see the Bengals win it, but at the same time, I'd love to see Matt Stafford win it.
Well, it's kind of a situation where, like me and Will talked about this not too long ago, where it's like the first time in like recent history that, around the league, if you're not a fan of the two teams, you're happy whoever wins. Like you just want to see a good game. Now in the past, it's always been Brady in the Super Bowl, and it's like, oh man, I don't want him to win again. I want to see some change. There's change, and like
then even like I don't like when the Panthers made it, everybody was like, oh, the Panthers are overrated. They, we want Peyton Manning to go out on a, everybody wanted Peyton Manning to win, and so
we proceeded to win.
Yes, I understand that,
but we won that game to the factor of somebody else playing in another Super Bowl.
Von Miller.
Yeah.
Who, if you remember against the Panthers, he was the factor of why we won, why the Broncos won.
Yeah, because for some odd reason, they just decided to put Mike Rimmers on an island with Von Miller. Does anybody know what Mike Rimmers is doing right now? Yeah, me either.
Yeah, he's actually watching this podcast. No, but I think if you're the Rams, you're trying to set that up again, though. You're trying to get a situation to where either Aaron Donald or Von Miller is singled up on somebody.
Honestly, I don't know how they're going to do it. I would low key think about putting them on the same side.
Yeah,
and so that brings all the attention to one side, and so you still have
it does bring all the attention to one side.
You have Leonard Floyd on the other side.
I'm telling you, one way to stop that would be to slide the protection, double team Aaron, and then have your singled up tackle on Vaughn with a running back help with Chip. Yeah. That's all you can do. But then if that's the situation, you are strictly 1v1, two other sides, and I just don't think
I like the Rams
to stop that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of running backs, what team do you think that the running game will become a factor of who wins this game?
No.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more of an air game, but I think there's going to be a couple.
I agree. I think it's also going to be more of an air game, but if someone can establish the run, I think that changes up things a little bit.
I don't think either team will be able to establish a run. Only simply because they won a team.
I think Joe Mixon could. I think Joe Mixon really
I
could.
agree. I think Joe Mixon can too. He's done it all year.
I think the Rams' defensive front is too good. But also, Cincinnati's defensive front they're pretty good. But obviously,
they're in the Super Bowl. I
mean, just because you're in the Super Bowl doesn't mean you have a good defense.
Plays a factor.
It plays a factor, but it just doesn't. It doesn't mean they have a great defense. The Giants won 2 Super Bowls having
okay.
But they had good playoff
run. Here's a good question: how do you cover Cooper Kupp? If you're the Bengals, what do you do?
You go like this. Look, you go like this, and then you go like this, and you pray.
No, I don't think Eli Apple is the answer for that one.
I don't think it really. I was gonna say I don't think it matters what you do. It's gonna be Sean McVay and this offense is gonna find a way to pick apart the Bengals secondary. But I think they still have a really good secondary. Yeah, there's one player that's not very great, and I don't want to say his name, even though you just said it. But the other players on this team are also are the other DBs. I think it's a strong part of the team. Their safeties are fantastic. I think Jesse Bates is still super underrated. I still think he's one of the top 3 safeties in the league, which might be crazy. I don't know. I think he's top 5.
Top 3 is a stretch.
It's quite a stretch, but you know what? No other safeties are in the Super Bowl right now. And
actually, yes, there are other safeties
on the Rams. Yeah, okay, but he made huge plays the whole playoff series. Let's make our predictions. All right, score predictions.
I am going to go Rams, and I'm going to go with the score of 31-24.
TJ?
And it will come down to the Bengals needing a drive to tie the game, and the Rams getting a stop.
I'm gonna do something crazy here. I'm gonna say final score is gonna be 27-24. But Bengals are gonna win. Evan McPherson is gonna kick another one. And furthermore, solidify what everyone has been saying is that he is the offense of the Bengals this postseason.
Okay, I like that, Todd.
I had the exact same thought. I think Evan McPherson is going to kick a game-winning walk-off field goal to win the game, win the Super Bowl. But I think it's going to be – I'm riding with the Simpsons here. I'm going 34-31.
I think if I'm right, Evan McPherson is 3 field goals off of beating Adam Vinatieri's postseason record of 14 consecutive made field goals in a postseason.
Let's hope he can do it because I do want to see the Bengals win. But I am a Georgia boy. I'm happy if Stafford does too. But I think the Bengals are going to do it. And
Rams, baby.
there's one way to find out. We're going to watch it Sunday. It's going to be fun. And hopefully you guys watch it too. And let us know what you think down below. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll be back Monday to talk about how the game went.
Exactly. See you guys soon.
See ya.
See you guys.